Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Get ready for this.
Hi everyone, good afternoon, and thank you for joining me again today on the Bebe Means Business Show. Listen, this is the only show you need when it comes to tips and advice and wisdom and knowledge in anything and everything to do with business. And thank you so much to everybody that has tuned in week after week after week. Keep those feedbacks coming. It helps us shape the program to make sure that we're meeting your needs, because this program exists for you. The whole point of this program is to make sure that you become a success in business and speed up your journey into becoming financially free. Not just you, but for your generations to come. As you know, I'm very legacy minded, and it is my prayer that not only you become financially free, but your children's children. I want to welcome you again today to the program. My name, for those of you who have never been with us before, my question is, where have you been? But I'm so glad that you're here today. My name is Bebe Clement, and I'm the host of this show, Bebe Means Business. I run a group of small companies, and I'm also the author of that book that you can see at the bottom, How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur. Listen, guys, Christmas is coming, and we're in the graduation season. You know, my nephew graduated yesterday. Congratulations to my nephew Ife. Well done for doing well in uni. But this is graduation season. Listen, instead of buying your children another pair of sneakers or whatever, things that they're going to wear that will be of no use to them in 6 months' time, a year's time, why don't you invest in something that's going to change their life? Change their life. Invest in this book, How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur, so that they don't come out of university being job seekers. They come out of university with the mindset of being job creators. That's what we need now. That's what we need our children to be job creators, not looking for somebody else to be their financial solution, but creating the financial solution for themselves and their family. That's what we need. So I strongly encourage you to invest in that book. You can get it off Amazon for $12.99, or you can get it from my website, www.bbclement.com. Now, last week we did what we often do. We had a repeat program, and we do the repeat programs because sometimes we get requests to say, oh Bibi, I didn't get an opportunity to listen to that program, would you mind doing it again? And so we do that so you can get as much juice as you can out of the programs. If you're not able to listen in, then by all means please go and visit my YouTube channel, Bebe Means Business, and all the past programs should be on there, or indeed on Starr Radio UK, they stock it as well. But we did a repeat program last week, but the week before I did a live program on the Mastermind Group, the Entrepreneur's Secret Weapon, the Mastermind Group. And I want to do a very quick recap. If you missed that program, I want to do a quick recap for you as to why it is imperative. It's not a good idea. It's imperative that if you are in business, that you belong to a mastermind group. And what is a mastermind group? A mastermind group came from, the concept came from Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill, as you remember, wrote The Laws of Success and Think and Grow Rich, which is probably his most popular book, Think and Grow Rich. And he talks about where two or more people come together to exchange ideas, where they put their minds together, it's almost like a third mind is born. And I get what he means. I get what he means, because once two or more people get together, the ideas that are generated, the ideas that are reviewed and renewed, the concepts that can be put into practice, the strengthening of each other that comes with it is just phenomenal. It is just phenomenal. So in practice, and I spoke about the mastermind groups that I lead, because I lead a couple of them, I facilitate a couple of them. The ones that I lead in practice, we meet once a week, and it's a group of entrepreneurs, between 6 and 8 in each group, and we gather together to brainstorm, not a talking shop, not a networking group, brainstorm. So we do practical problem solving. Hey baby, this is the problem I'm having in my company this week. I need to recruit for, I don't know, a new administrator. I don't know where to go. What do I do? Practical problems that you have, we provide solutions. And the reason why mastermind group is important is because it frees you up, gives you time to move away from working in the business to working on the business, providing the strategic direction for your business. So that's why I discussed the mastermind group, and I want to thank those of you who listened and tapped into what I said and who have signed up for my mastermind group. If you want some more information about that, please go to my website. If you go to the shop page, you will find information about the mastermind group. It is currently £95, but it will increase to £120 in January. So if you're minded to join, you better join now. And the next set of people, the next group, will be joining in January. So that's the mastermind group. Today, I have something totally different. Now, as you know, we're getting towards the end of the year. And to be honest, the general feeling I'm getting from most entrepreneurs I speak to is, man, I am tired. That's a general feeling. And so I thought this would be a good time, because I'm detecting a sense of, I don't know whether the word is discouragement, but people are genuinely tired. You know, I mean, what we've been through over the last year and a half has taken a toll. Whether you're an entrepreneur riding on the highest crest or wave, it has taken a toll, and it has affected our businesses. So I thought today what we'll do is, I'm doing a show called From Reviewing to Renewing. From Reviewing to Renewing. And what I'd like us to do today is to hear from a group of entrepreneurs. We won't be hearing from them live. I've interviewed them behind the scenes, and I'm going to be sharing their views and their tips with you. Hearing from entrepreneurs as to what was 2021 like for them. What worked in their business? What was a complete disaster? What do they need to improve upon? And how are they positioning themselves for 2022? So that's what we're going to be doing today. So for those of you who are just joining us, I'm your host, Bebe Clement, and today's show is called From Reviewing to Renewing. From Reviewing to Renewing. It's important that we look back so that we can position ourselves to move forward. So I'm going to be sharing what a group of entrepreneurs have shared with me as to how 2021 panned out. And I would strongly encourage you to get a pen and paper, or however it is that you take notes, because you will definitely pick up some tips. You can learn from other people's mistakes, and you can get some valuable tips to position your business for 2022 so that you don't just survive, but you thrive in 2022. I saw something recently. It said, what if 2020 was a dress rehearsal? In other words, what if 2020 was a sign of things to come? What if things never change? If this is how things are going to be for small businesses in particular going forward, how are you going to survive? So I'm hoping that I'll be able to share some things with you today that will put you in a better place for 2022 and for meeting the challenges that may come with it. So the first person I'd like to share her thoughts on is Dee Lano. Dee Lano is the managing director of DL Travel. And as you know, more than any other industry that I can think of, the travel industry has been so greatly affected by COVID. It has almost, for some people, completely wiped them off the face of the earth, because especially in 2020 when nobody was going anywhere. So I asked her, what worked in 2021? How did you stay afloat? What did you do? Why are you still here when so many have gone under in your industry? And she said one of the things that they did was to keep in touch with the clients that they have made inroads with. Keep in touch with clients that they have made inroads with. Now, I thought that was very interesting. Very interesting. So what she's saying was that in 2019 and 2020, when nobody could go anywhere, she spent that time in growing her database, rather than just sitting there, growing her database. And she spent 2021 staying in touch with her clients. Now that is really important, because so many people have a database and they don't know how to use it. They don't know how to mine it. And except something is happening, the only time in which they contact their clients is perhaps maybe they're launching a new product or something like that. Otherwise, they don't make any contact with their clients. Now, remember that this is something I say a lot on this show, but it's very important, that we are in the age of relationship selling. And imagine how you feel when you have a friend who only calls you when they need something. Imagine how that makes you feel. You don't feel obliged to help them because, there's a tendency to feel used. And that's exactly how clients feel when the only time you contact them is when you have maybe a new product or something like that. You need to keep the relationship going. Now, having said that, I'm not saying you need to bombard them constantly with information, because that is a turn-off as well. And I tend to just delete this kind of stuff. But once in a while, make some contact. It might just be a very simple email. Hi, Bebe. Just checking on you, just seeing how business is going. If there's anything that we can do for you, just let us know. Something that simple just lets them know that you're thinking about them. Two, that you're not looking to milk them for anything. You want to serve, and it should be genuine, because I'm telling you, clients can pick up whether you're genuine or not. It might be that, or it might be something that you've seen about them on social media. Perhaps they've launched a new product, or they've done something successful. You could just drop them a line and say, saw this on social media, I thought it was brilliant, really agreed with your thoughts, or I'm so happy for you. Or even go the extra mile. If I have a client who has had some area of success, it is my normal practice to ask one of my staff to put a small gift in the post for them, and even help them shout about it on my platforms. So again, I'm not asking them for anything. I'm not looking to make money out of them. But my ethos always is, I want to be a part of your success story, which is the whole point of this radio show. I want to be a part of my client's success story. Whenever they think of the things that have helped them get to where they are by way of success, I want them to mention my name as part of their success story. So that's what you should be looking to do. So stay in touch. And if you have a database that is just sitting there, this is the time to dust it off and start giving people a call. Just a phone call might be all it is. Oh, hi, I know it's been a while, just wanted to say hi, just see how you're doing, and just have a basic human being to human being conversation. And out of that conversation, you'll be amazed at what will come out. They will share problems that have arisen. They will share success stories. They will share needs. And then it will remind them of you. Oh, do you know what? I'd even forgotten that you do this. By the way, could you help us do the other? If you hadn't made that phone call, they might probably not have thought about you. And remember, you're not the only one vying for their business. Other people are vying. Other people who are more aggressive and who are more attuned to staying in touch with their customers will do that. So if you're somebody who only appears once a year, once every 18 months, you will miss out to the competition. It's that simple. So thank you for that. One of the things that she said is having them build up those relationships and keeping those relationships going. One of the things that she identified as being most important to her clients that she's going to emphasize on is, particularly in her industry, is keeping people aware of deals in relation to travel. And she said the importance of that, first of all, is to let people know that people are actually traveling. Because there's a tendency to think, if you listen to the news and the government and all that, there's a tendency to think that people are not actually going anywhere. And that's not true. I've recently returned from Spain, and I'm telling you that the plane, both ways, was jam-packed. It was full. So people are traveling. And so she said it's important to let them know that people are traveling and that there are deals to be done because of the climate. There are lots of deals to be done. This is if you've ever wanted to travel, this is actually a great time to do it, because you can now go to places for a lot cheaper than it would be normally. And who knows how long that's going to last. Perhaps in 2022 things will be back to normal and people will begin to travel again, not as much as they were prior to COVID. So this is a good time to do that. But she said she also took this time to find out what is most important to her clients right now. And what is most important to her clients is, one, safety. Two, is information regarding their destination. So what requirements are needed by the government of whatever country it is that you're going to, particularly by way of do they need to see a vaccination passport? Is it enough to say that I've been vaccinated? Will they ask me? Do they need some kind of documentation? Do I have to do a test? If I have to do a test, how many tests do I have to? Some countries will say, well, if you've got a test, if you've got the results of a test, you can show that in our country, and that's acceptable to us. Some countries will not accept other people's test results. You have to do the test at their airport, that kind of thing. So keeping her clients informed as to what they need to do for wherever it is they need to go is one of the things that she has identified as being most important to her clients, and she'll be doing more and more of that. Another thing that she said that she discovered from staying in touch with her clients is that clients' needs change. What her clients needed 6 months ago is not necessarily what her clients need now. So if you are operating on yesterday's information, you are doing yourself a disservice, which is why you need to stay in touch with your clients. So I want to give a huge thank you to Dee Lana, Managing Director of DL Travel. So if you are thinking of going anywhere, please patronize her. So go to dltravel.com, I think it is, and then you can use her. I'm sure if you mention my name, she will offer you some kind of discount. Sorry to put you on the spot there, Dee, but yes, do that for my listeners. Okay, so that's the first one. For those of you who are just joining us, I'm Bebe Clement, and as you can see today, we're speaking about from reviewing to renewing 2021. So we're looking back on the thoughts of entrepreneurs, business owners just like you, who are looking back on what went wrong in 2021 in their business, what worked well, and how they are positioning themselves for a better 2022. So I spoke to Toyin Onabowu, who is the managing director of the Heritage Publisher. She's been on the show a couple of times. She's actually my editor. She does a great job. And she spoke about what worked well. And she said focusing on the business was the biggest plus this year. Now, that is a strange statement to make, because you think that, well, if you're an entrepreneur, what else would you be doing but focusing on business? But you will be amazed. The number of people who are in business who are not focused on the business. So just settling your mind on the business is a huge step. And I think what she meant by that is taking the time to work on the business rather than in the business. So you know how it is. We get caught up in the everyday things of business. We're doing the admin, we're answering the phone, we're overseeing the accounts, we're dealing with staff matters. In a lot of cases, we are majoring on minors. We are majoring on minors, such to the extent that we're not able to focus on the strategic direction of the business. And if there's ever a time when your business needs strategic direction, believe me, it is now. So she said, we just made the decision that this year we are going to focus on the business. And she said, having done that, it has been amazing. It's had an amazing effect on the business. She said one of the things that we were able to do was we actually began to see the potential for expansion, which we didn't see before. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? So she said now we've looked at things that we can add to the offering that we give our clients. So initially, Heritage Publishers was an editing service. It was an editing service. So if you'd written a book, you send it to them, they edit it for you. And that was pretty much what they did. But she said now that we've focused on the business, we're now able to see that there are actually a lot more services that we can offer our clients. And so they've seen the potential for expansion, and now they've added to that offering. So next year, they will plan properly how they will amalgamate. She said another business was actually grown out of that exercise. So she said what we want to do now is to amalgamate both businesses so that we can serve them under one umbrella. So that they're not just offering editing services, now they're offering things like typesetting, now they're offering things like finding you a printer, getting your ISBN number, all those kind of things. These are the kind of services that they're now offering that they were not offering before. But those services, the potential for those services were always there. They were always there. But now the fact that they decided to focus, and focus is so important, ladies and gentlemen. Focus is so important. This is the time to actually examine how many balls you are carrying. How many of those balls are actually servicing your business? How many of them are adding to your bottom line? So you may have, I don't know, 3 or 4 small businesses, but how many of them are bringing money in? And if they're not bringing in money, then what are you doing with them? Seriously, what are you doing with them? So this might be a time for you to give yourself permission to lay down those balls that are not working and move away from them. So review that just like they have done. So they said But they're going to, one of the things that they're going to do to position themselves better for 2022 so that they can serve their clients better is to design a new website. I thought that was very interesting. So now they understand that, there's so much more that we can do. So we need to let our clients know. So it's not enough for you to know that we now offer something more or something different. You now have to communicate that to your target audience, that we are so much more than we were before. You don't have to go anywhere else. We're a one-stop shop now. You can get all your needs met under our umbrella. So it's important that any changes that you make, don't assume that your clients will telepathically know what you're now offering. You need to let them know. You need to communicate that to them, that you are now, you've either now got a new product, or you've now got a new service, or whatever, or you're thinking of going down this particular route. How do they think that this would serve them, or if they have any ideas as to how they think that which you're deciding or you're thinking about could serve them better, they could let you know. So rather than stabbing in the dark, oh, I hope this works, or I hope they like that, actually find out for your clients. Say, you could drop them an email or something and say, listen guys, we are thinking of doing A, B, and C. Do you think this is something that you'd be interested in? If so, how could we shape it that could meet your needs? You will be amazed. You will be amazed at what will come back. Because you might think A is a really good idea, and really the area of need is in B. So why not find out from those that you are planning to serve and let them tell you, so that you save time and energy and money. Okay, I think I'm going to take a short break here, and then when we come back, if there are any questions, we'll deal with that, and if not, I'll be sharing some more tips as to what worked well in 2021, what didn't, and what you need to do to position yourself to have a great 2022. See you in a minute. A property investment clerk, and she's doing very well. We've had her on the show a couple of times. We've had the honor of having her share her expertise on the show for a couple of times. And she said this year she took advantage of opportunities. Now, again, that seems like a given as an entrepreneur. But you will be amazed at the number of people who don't. And I want to quickly talk about opportunities so that you don't make that mistake. First of all, you need to recognize opportunities when they come along. And the majority of us are thinking that opportunities come, some rich person is going to bang on our door or walk through the doors of our shop, or we're going to get this massive $1 million order or something like that. Opportunities often don't come like that. Opportunities often come dressed as problems. And you providing the solution to that problem turns out to be an opportunity. I'm going to say that again because I need to move your mindset to the right place. Opportunities don't often come wrapped in ribbon and a bow labeled opportunity. They often come looking like a problem. And your job as an entrepreneur is to be the solution to that problem. And in solving that problem arises an opportunity. And the more you build upon that, the more that opportunity enlarges itself. So that's the first thing. Recognize that what opportunities look like. So when they come along. Also, people often tend to let opportunities slip through their fingers. Now, that's for a number of reasons, one of them which I've just highlighted, because they don't recognize it as an opportunity. But two, they often don't know what to do to respond to that opportunity. And I think it's all a matter of preparation. If you are constantly on the lookout, not even just being prepared, but you are constantly proactively seeking opportunities, then there's a tendency for you to be better prepared when they do arise. And I often say this, there's nothing worse. I think it is worse for there not to be an opportunity and for you to be prepared than for an opportunity to come knocking and you are not prepared. So one of the things that I think that you need to look at in 2022 is analyze or consider, what does success look like to me in relation to my business? What would a successful year look like? And then talk your way or walk your way through your business, walk yourself through your business and say, if what I am hoping for were to suddenly occur on January 1st, 2022, would I be able to cope with that success? Do I have the sufficient systems in place to cope with that success? So let's say, for instance, you suddenly got an order. Let's say you are an author, like I am, and I suddenly got an order for 1 million copies of my book. Yeah? Now, usually when people buy books in bulk, they don't pay up front. They usually have a time period in which to pay. A company did an order for some books for me today. They ordered some books for me today. They told me that they pay a month later. So the question there is, one, do you have 1 million supply of books? If not, could you get your hand on 1 million supply of books if you had that order within the next 48 hours? Two, do you have the money to pay your printer to print 1 million copies of your book within 48 hours? And if not, where could you find the money? Now, I just use that as an example. I use myself as an example. But these are the things that you need to be thinking about. Okay, if the success that I'm praying for suddenly occurs, do I have sufficient systems in place to cope with that success? So let's say somebody asked me to come and speak in America tomorrow. And they said, could you come and speak? We have a crowd of 20,000 that you're going to be speaking to. We want you to bring some of your materials for 20,000 people. Do I have enough material for 20,000 people? Do I have enough CDs or do I have enough DVDs to sell to 20,000 people? If not, because you don't necessarily have to have them ready, but if not, could I rise to the occasion? And if not, what do I need to do to be able to rise to that occasion? So these are the things that you need to be looking at. Do you have enough in place to deal with the success that you are praying for or that you are working towards? By way of a team, for instance, do you have enough members of a team to carry your business to where it wants to go? So these might be the kind of things that you might need to put into practice or put in place to plan for success in 2022. And please plan for success. Don't plan for survival. Les Brown says something I think is a wonderful quote. He says, most people fail in life not because they aim too high and they miss, but because they aim too low and they get exactly what they're aiming for. So if your mindset is, oh God, I just want to be able to survive 2022, well, that is exactly what you're going to get. So my prayer is that, today you'll be able to shift your mindset. Let your mindset be 2022 is going to knock 2020 and 2021 out of the park. It's going to erase them from my memory. It's going to be so great that I'm going to be walking around on cloud 9 throughout 2022. That's what you should be aiming for. My business is going to just go from glory to glory in 2022. If you want to be a millionaire, I'm going to become a millionaire in 2022. I don't know how it's going to happen, but that's the goal. That's what's going to happen. If you have a figure in mind as to what kind of turnover you want in 2022, I would write that figure down and put it where you can see it every day. So if it's in your office, I have that figure in my office right in front of my laptop so I can see it on the wall. This is how much I'm aiming for this month, for the coming year. So I'd encourage you to do that. It gives you something to reach for, something to pray for, something to aim for, something to grow into. Don't just think about survival. Don't. Think about thriving. Think about doing well. Think about bucking the trend. I don't care if everybody else's company is going under. My business will not go under. I am going to do whatever it needs to do to thrive in 2022. Okay, so back to Bimbola Osage, who said that one of the things that she's done in 2021 that has been successful is that she has taken advantage of opportunities that have come her way. And in order to do so, she has thought bigger. This is a woman that I follow, so she has thought bigger. Some of the things that she is achieving in the property space are phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And so kudos to you, Bimbola. So another thing that people do in relation to opportunities is because they think small and because they think that they can't do it, they tend to pass opportunities off to others. This is a huge mistake. Last week I had a client, a Nigerian-based client, call me and he needed something done in Nigeria. Actually, I'm not based in Nigeria. I'm based in the UK. He needed something done in Nigeria, and it was huge. It was huge, and it was millions. And he said, "Baby, can you source someone that can deal with this for me?" And because it's not really my area, I was going to do that. And then I thought, hang on a minute, why can't I do this? Whoever I'm going to pass this on to is going to source it just like I would source it. So why can't I do it myself? I have enough contacts that I can begin to at least make a few phone calls and see where I get with it. And so that's what I did. I picked up the phone and started calling people. Some said, "Oh no, it's too much, it's too big, we can't do it, blah blah." But a couple of people said, "Well, actually, let me find out what I can do, and I'll get back to you." And I'm pleased to say that as of yesterday, it looks like we're going to be able to pull it off. So I'm going to be able to get back to the client today and say, I've been able to source it. So again, when opportunities come your way, don't just automatically think, well, this is not something I do. Now, I'm not saying that you should get involved in just anything that comes along. If it's something that really you need industry knowledge about, and it's not something that you can quickly educate yourself about, then of course I wouldn't touch it. So anything to do with things like accounting, count me out. I'm not interested. I don't like it. I don't even know where to start. So I'm definitely going to pass that on. But even if I'm going to pass it on, I'm going to pass it on and get like an introductory fee or something like that. You don't just pass it on. But the point I'm trying to make is when opportunities come your way, don't be so quick to give them to somebody else. All right, just to let you know, as I do always, that this is a live show and it's an interactive program. So I want to hear from you, those of you who are connected to us. If you have any comments or you have any questions, then by all means, please contact us. Those of you who are watching on Facebook, by all means, just put something in the chat. I understand that some things have come in. I'm going to give a shout out in a minute to some people, but just put something in the chat. If you are on Twitter, our Twitter handle is @StarRadioUK. You can contact us that way, or you can text or WhatsApp us on 07539 661 744. That number again is 07539 661 744, or indeed email us at info@StarRadioUK. And then you can give us your questions or your comments or whatever. I want to do a quick shout out to some people who are joining us on Facebook. Quick shout out to Toby Akindele. Thank you very much for joining us. He's joining us all the way from Nigeria. Thank you so much for doing that. Also want to thank Teddy Luomukuran. Teddy, hi. Thank you so much for joining us. She says, great insights. Thank you very much for that. Toby also mentioned, he said, focus on the business rather than in the business. Yes, definitely, that's what you need to be doing. Focus on the business rather than in the business. I want to thank everybody that's joining and is commenting. Keep them coming, keep them coming. Also, if you're on social media, if I'm saying anything that you really like, make sure you tweet it, make sure you put it on Instagram. Let people know that you are listening into the Bebe Means Business Show and that I've given you some insight. Let people know what we're talking about. Thank you very much. Okay. So I was talking just before that, I was talking about feedback from Bimbola Osage, who's the managing director of a company that deals with property investment. And she said as a result of the opportunities that she's taken advantage of, she has built a large team, a working team, to spread the load and to delegate. Now this is really important because we tend to do everything ourselves. And if you're doing everything yourself, believe me, there are only 24 hours in the day, and there's a limit to what you can do. Sooner or later, the law of diminishing returns will kick in. So you don't want to be doing that. The minute you have enough money to pay someone else to do work for you, get somebody else to do the work. Spread the work. Build a team. You've got to start thinking team building. Even if you're currently a one-man band, you've got to move away from that mindset and look at how you can build a team. So she says she's built a working team to spread the load. Another thing that she has done is this year she has done a lot more collaboration. Now Bimbola is somebody who I know for a fact she practices what we call OPM. She uses other people's money for business. And I would strongly encourage you to do that. Use other people's money. Leverage other people's money. And you might be thinking, well, who's going to lend me money? You'll be surprised. Listen, there is no return on money in banks. I don't know what your current interest rate is. I think mine is 0.2 or something stupid like that. So people are moving away from putting money in the banks. They want to put their money in a place where it will yield a return. So believe me, if you have a business that looks like it is making money, if you don't know anybody else to call me. Call me. I'm looking for where I can put my money and make it grow. If I know that I'm going to put my money in your business and you're going to go do the work and I'm going to get a return, then why wouldn't I put my money in your business? So look at how you can use other people's money. This is something she does very well. She leverages other people's money, and you need to do the same. So to position herself for 2022, she says she just needs to improve upon her mindset. She wants to expand upon having a positive mindset, and this is something I spoke about earlier. Because I'm telling you, if your mindset is not right, it doesn't matter the opportunities that come your way. You will not be able to take advantage of them. You will lose them. You have to have the mindset of a winner. You have to have the mindset of an entrepreneur. You have to have the mindset of a servant, that you are going to serve your community with your business. You have to have that mindset. Move away from, I need to make money, I need to make money, I need to make money. I'm not saying don't make money. That's the whole point of being in business. But move away from the desperation of making money. Look at how you can serve with your product, and then watch how the doors will open. Bimbala Thagye, one of the things that she did was, I remember when she first started the business and we were talking, she was using me as a sounding board, and we were talking through some of the ideas that she had. Her mindset was, how can I help the black community to become property owners? That was her mindset. Her mindset was not, how can I become a millionaire? Her mindset was, how can I help my fellow black brothers and sisters become property owners? And if you know what she has done with that idea and that mindset now, it is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. So hats off to you, Bimbala Hosagye. Thank you so much for feeding back into the questions that I gave you, and I wish you every success for 2022. The next person that I spoke to was Sandra Ramsey Nicole, who is the managing director of Mock Test Masters. For those of you who watch the program often, you remember that she did a talk for us on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. I think it was last year. I'm not sure whether it was early this year or last year, but she did a talk for us on cryptocurrency. By the way, for those of you who are involved in crypto, I hope you're watching how Bitcoin is growing. At the moment, it's not doing badly. So if you're still umming and ahhing about getting into crypto, I would encourage you to at least check it out. It is worth looking into as another income stream. Again, you need to put your money where it will grow. Don't just put it in the bank. Don't put it under your mattress. Make your money work hard for you. Don't work hard for your money. Make your money work hard for you. So Sandra Ramsey Nicole very kindly also took the time to respond to my queries, and she said in 2021 they have moved to online services. I just want to tell you a little bit about what her company does. She's the managing director for Mock Test Masters, and what they do is they do mock tests for children who are going to sit for the 11 plus exam to get them into grammar school. This is something that we do in the UK. I think in Africa it's called Common Entrance or something like that. But for kids who want to get into really good schools in the UK, they have to sit an exam called 11 plus. So parents tend to try to prepare their kids for it, and she has a company that does mock tests to prepare those children for the real thing. So she said in 2021, because in 2020 nobody was allowed out, we had lockdown and people were not allowed out, what she did was she now offers that service online. So previously all the children used to sit the exam in person. So she had these exam centers and the kids used to go there, so they had the experience of sitting in an exam kind of environment, because a lot of kids have never sat in an exam environment, and so on the day they make a lot of mistakes. But the whole point of her company is to prepare them not just for the questions, the potential questions, but sitting in an exam environment around other children, understanding how to do the exam to time and that kind of thing, following instructions to do the exam properly. So she said that now she's offering that service online, which is not something that they were doing before. So they've had to pivot and automate their service. So she said another thing that they have done as a result is they've now had to outsource many of their tasks to cope with the increased demand. Now, this is not something she foresaw. She actually thought that it was going to have a negative impact, she says, on her company, the fact that they were no longer able to offer this service in person. She said, but on the contrary, it has increased demand for her company. So guys, I think the message here is don't be afraid of change. Change is inevitable, whether it's business or any other area of life. Change is inevitable. So the fact that a seemingly negative change occurs does not necessarily mean that you cannot take advantage of it or it cannot have a positive effect on your business. So this is an example of someone who, as a result of COVID-19, had to change her processes or had to change the way in which she offers the service that she offers. But she has done so, and she's done it so successfully that it has increased demand. So now she said she doesn't have enough in-house staff to deal with the work that is coming because they mark the papers. So she has outsourced some of the marking to other companies. So she's now creating business for other companies. Isn't that amazing? And who would have known that something as negative as COVID-19 would have that kind of positive impact? So again, she has responded positively to that change. Okay, so now I've got a greater demand. What do? I don't have enough in-house hands. Does that mean I have to turn business away, which some people would do because they can't see beyond? Okay, I can't hire the number of staff that I need. But she has decided to outsource it. So that, again, that's something that you should be thinking about. How can I outsource some of the things that I do? Some of the cheaper ways, because it doesn't necessarily have to cost you a lot. Companies like Fiverr, People Per Hour, those kind of organizations. If you're a small business in particular, outsource to people like that. They are affordable, and you can get your work done. So you don't have to necessarily go and get a full-time employee, or hire somebody on a consultancy basis or on an hourly rate. But again, if you don't want to do that, then people like Fiverr and People Per Hour are a good source of those kind of ad hoc kind of jobs if you need them. So another change that she has made, she said remote working from some of her staff. Again, this was a large one for her. She said because previously they had a large office and all the staff used to come into the office. She said, but we got rid of our office, and in order to get rid of the office, one of the results of that is, of course, she got rid of all the overhead that goes with having an office. So the cost of the lease, the cost of the infrastructure, all that has gone. All that has gone. So she now has a leaner, meaner company, more focused company with a greater demand, outsourced with less stress, and she's making more money. Amazing, absolutely amazing. So in order to position herself for 2022, she said one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to overhaul our website because we're now offering a different type of service. So that has to be reflected. Again, she has to communicate that to her clients and potential clients, that not only do we do the exams in person, you also have a choice. If you want to do it online, you can do it online as well. So she said another thing we're going to do is we're going to diversify to ensure against industry changes. So you see, she's already thinking ahead. She's already thinking ahead. Okay, what else could change in my industry? And in order to meet that change, let me diversify my offering. Again, this is something you need to be thinking. This is how an entrepreneur thinks. This is how an entrepreneur thinks. What can I do to indemnify myself against industry changes? How can I diversify? So going back to I think it was Tony Onabo, and she was talking about how she now offers not just editing services, she now offers things like typesetting, printing services,